everybody, Glenn here from JTech. Today I'm going to run through fuel pressure test. There's going to be 5 different types. There's a static fuel pressure test, a dynamic fuel pressure test, a running fuel pressure test, there's a deadhead pressure test, and lastly there's the residual test. The static test is basically you got your hose plugged into somewhere in the return or somewhere in the fuel system. Thankfully there's one right on the rail there, an access port. Static test, you're just testing to see what the fuel pressure is once you turn the engine on, or turn the key on but leave the engine off. Alright, go ahead and turn the key on. Typically it's going to jump up a little bit because it's got a prime. It's going to jump up a little bit, then it'll settle down. You're looking for fuel pressure anywhere from 40 to 60. This one's within spec, so it's a pretty good fuel pressure system. Next thing you can do is the running test. I'll go ahead and start it up. Basically just want to make sure that you're maintaining a solid fuel pressure once the car is actually started. It'll jump up a little bit higher than the static test, but not too much higher. The next one is the dynamic test. It's basically just to check where your fuel system is when you put a load on it, so hitting the accelerator. I go ahead and rev it up. You can see that it fluctuates a little bit, goes a little high, then drops down low to relieve some pressure, because you don't need fuel in there all the time as you're decelerating. And then the next one is residual. You go ahead and shut it off. Residual test is once you turn it off. You want to monitor your pressure, make sure it's not bleeding out anywhere. Obviously if the needle were to keep dropping, then we're going to have a fuel leak somewhere, because it should stay pressurized in the rail in between shut off and start up. And then the last test is usually done on a return type. Since this one isn't a return type, we won't know, but it basically it gives you an idea of how much maximum pressure can be put out by the fuel pump. So there you have 5 different ways, or 5 different types of fuel pressure testing that you can do.